When I switched to Pro mileage, in my case, I got 46-47% of savings for that car.
Pro mileage was the only one that gave me 5,000 extra value to cover, yet still cheaper, a lot less.
Turn up!
Hey, tire pressure okay, huh? Okay, thanks. Alright, busy day here at the car wash. Alright, now, outside, waiting for its turn, is this. This is the G20 330i M Sport. Now, those of you guys, if you watch our reviews, you watch our Monday live show, a lot of you ask us about the BMW G20 3 Series. We always say that it's nice to drive, it's sharp. But the problem with the 330i M Sport is that when we first drove the car, the ride was quite stiff. And after the first test drive, when I remember having the chance to test drive a CKD model, I distinctly remember it to be slightly softer. Alright, so the customer who owns this 330i tells me that, hey Connor, I always watch your video, you always say the 330i is stiff, right? But I drive my car, is okay wo. So he ajak me to take his car out for a spin and see whether is it really as stiff as I say. So he thinks BMW might have improved it. So I'm taking the opportunity to find out with his car at his invitation. Alright, so let's get ready to drive this car out of the shop, since the car has not been washed earlier on, right? Yeah, so okay, this car belongs to a regular customer of ours. He takes up our subscription package together with pickup and return. So once a week, this car, all right, whilst the customer is still, you know, doing work from his home, this car is sent here to our shop by our dealers, our drivers from 21 North Europe. All right, so while he's doing his work at home, his car is delivered here, washed, and sent back to him. All right, so let me take this car out for a drive around the area. Okay, I must say, now this Chan Sao Lin area, those of you who know or may or may not know, roads here aren't exactly great. Very it will be very severe for cars with harsh suspension, and what better place to test it out. Okay, now I must say I just drove over a patch of road surface. It does feel markedly improved. Okay, now I'm going over a brick pavement area, right? Okay, this would be okay. So it's all right. So it's still firm, but it seems at low speeds a lot more bearable than it was when I first test drove this car during its launch. All right, at least there is now that pliancy. Okay, to best illustrate it, the first time I drove the G20 330i, it felt like a Civic FD2R, and it felt harsher than the Megane RS. Now okay, it's still firm, but it's more pliant than I remember it. Definitely more pliant. Okay, the secondary ride, if you drive it over undulating surfaces, yes, you still get a bit of a shake lah, okay? But the primary ride, I think, definitely has been improved. And of course, a standout quality of the G20 3 Series is the quietness of the car. This car the sound insulation, the refinement of this car on the move, it's just amazing. So when I first test drove the G20, 2 years back, I still distinctly remember how jarring it was, because here I am, the car's ride is superlatively quiet, but the suspension was bouncing me all over the place. Not so here. Here, yeah, it's still firm, all right, but it's now closer to the 320i's level of pliancy. Now, of course, the 320i, being a non-M Sport suspension car, is still more comfortable than the 330i here, but the 330i now actually feels like, at least in this setup, the sporting DNA is unmistakable, but it's now much more drivable than it was before. It's a more palatable day-to-day car, whilst still having a healthy dose of sportiness in its DNA. Okay, I'm gonna take this exit. Okay, we don't want to go too far away with the customer's car, right? But yeah, I remember the first time I drove the 330i, the ride was borderline unbearable. Now, one thing I have to criticize still, however, is that the brakes are actually quite grabby. But yes, I have to say, I think now I do have to slightly tweak my findings a little. The G20 330i, all right, has now shed its biggest weakness. All right, last time, I mean before this, my impression of this car was that the ride is nigh on unbearable. All right, to me, the ride quality of this car when it was at launch was a deal breaker, but now it's more bearable. It's much more bearable. And my god, this B48 engine can really pull. And I think I've said this before, as much as I am still a fan of a 6-cylinder engine, in purely objective terms, this B48 engine, this 250 tune of the B48 engine, the 30i tune, has all the performance, all the pickup, all the power that you need, for day-to-day driving, to get you from point A to point B at a sufficiently rapid pace. So in this short video, I will have to say we have I would think that we have disproved one of the biggest deal-breaking aspects of the G20 330i M Sport, which was what was a previously unbearable ride, now has been positively addressed. It's still firm, but I think that more people can live with this now on a day-to-day basis. But that being said, it is still the least comfortable variant of the 3 Series lineup. All right, the 320i non-M Sport, of course, it's more comfortable. The M340i with its adjustable adaptive suspension also is a more comfortable ride. But now the 330i, it's comfortable enough.